What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sensei and the Pupil with the Sensei and the Pupilers. I'm Cray. I got Dev with me.
I'm Dev, but I'm going to have to go back to that comment there.
We'll catch in a second. I got Paul with me. He's here in the building with us, guys. We actually snatched him from wherever he was hiding and pulled him out of there, and now he's with us, with y'all. Enjoy. Today we are reviewing, and before we even review it, what's your issue?
Issue, dude.
What's your issue, Dog?
You
said pupilers?
Yeah,
Pupilers, yeah.
You were self-proclaiming yourself as the sensei?
Sensei and the Pupilers, you know? It's like a spreading thing, you know? Sensei and the Pupilers. Sorry, guys. Oh, we're all senseis. No one's a pupil here. Yeah, you guys are the pupil.
Don't belittle me.
Right? You know what? Senseis and the pupil.
That's right.
Dude, they're not pupils either, all right? They want to be senseis. They want to be senseis in their own right. Right?
I think we're all kind of pupils still learning about anime, you know?
If you want to be a sensei, send in $50 to this website, this account, and we'll take care of you guys. Let's jump right in to our breakdown of Arcane, the anime that's not an anime, on Netflix. Let's go!
Japanese game, though.
Alright, guys, this is a 9-episode anime that is on Netflix. 9 episodes, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
40 minutes long,
yeah. It's kind of weird to have just 9, but 40 minutes apiece. So it was a quick watch. I finished it probably in like 4 days. So that's pretty fast for me.
Yeah, good pick. Whoever picked that.
Paul chose Arcane.
Right.
Okay? Just say it right now. Get out of the way.
I did. I chose it. I played the game before. The game's pretty good.
So this show is actually a prequel to the game called League of Legends, which I haven't played. Have you played?
I've played it once.
I have.
Cray's played it one time.
Yeah, it's a MOBA.
Yeah, it's like one of those laner games where you push the lane and you have to beat the little minions.
Right.
It's not really a big... I'm not super into those kind of games, per se.
But it is a huge game.
It is a huge game. I like some.
I've seen some gameplay on it and stuff like that.
Esports, yeah.
It's probably the biggest MOBA ever made, and that's what that is. It's probably the biggest lane pusher game ever. And like,
so
go ahead.
Would you say that this show would make you want to?
That's a great question.
To play the game more or less?
So I definitely, after watching this show, Arcane, on Netflix, which is the parent company that made this one.
Right.
Good job, Netflix. I definitely started doing research on the game. I was like looking up these characters to see who were in it.
Right.
Because I was interested as hell.
Lore.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore. Like each character, bro, had like probably 4 pages of background story. I'm like, I'm not reading this shit. I was reading Jace's. I was like, okay, this is like 30 minutes later. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm not gonna look up anybody else because I was really getting into it.
Yeah, there's factions and everything. The whole world.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on there. Yeah, I did want to try to play it.
Yeah.
I did.
That's cool. Yeah. So this cartoon. It really does
It is a cartoon.
What it really does a good job doing.
It's a cartoon.
I mean, if you look at the end credits, I see a lot of Japanese names.
It's a cartoon.
Whatever. Take what you want from that.
So what this show, I feel like does really well is that they really kind of put you in the world that's the same of League of Legends, and they kind of they set up the world pretty well, and you kind of know who the good guys, the bad guys, and you get to kind of pick your side and pick who's right and who's wrong.
Is there a bad guy, good guy in class systems? Because, I mean, the bad guys have to do what they have to do. But anyway, let's talk. What are these class systems?
That's what I'm saying. They let you choose who's right and wrong. They set up the field.
Right.
And you kind of get to be on the side that you want to be on.
Right. Yeah, definitely most well-written stories. When they're really good, they have a good setup of that, what Devin just mentioned.
Right.
And kind of to his point, the whole mix with the whole theme of Silco wanting to help the Undercity rise up.
Right.
I just felt definitely more evil vibes than like righteous vibes.
Man.
From Silco,
because they just had to oppress them.
Right.
So that way they can listen. And then once they listen, they can...
How do you make them listen? Do the same thing that you're fighting against to do. Silco came off, obviously. He's the big bad guy, Silco. He was definitely more just pure evil to me. Like, he didn't seem evil neutral. He didn't seem like evil good. He just seemed pure like, I want to be a bad guy. I'm making shimmer.
And doesn't matter what kind of light they show him in,
Well, he's evil, yeah, but his whole goal of trying to create an opposing equal empire to the Piltover whatever they are. I don't know if you want to call them scientists or whatever. But you can see that it's kind of messed up. They live in slums. They have no sunlight. It's like, I don't really blame him for wanting to come up and create. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying he did it with good intentions, you know, and that's what matters. You
his
know?
intentions were really good either, but the end result.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's where I look totally.
They
totally
need to buy
opposite
oxygen. I felt bad for them.
Yeah, they had to buy oxygen.
Like, dude,
Yeah, but I mean, like, he also sold everybody Shimmer, you know?
Right, which is terrible. He got his own people hooked onto the worst drug.
It's a narco state. It's just like cocaine, you know, Colombia, you know, they want to, you know.
Yeah, except for cocaine doesn't, like, freaking morph you into a monster.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Silco's wild. And kind of like jumping over to his opposite, Jace.
Yeah.
Jace is his complete opposite, right? He literally did hex tech to help people.
Right.
He doesn't even want to make weapons until way later when
he doesn't want money. He doesn't want fame. He just wants to make the world a better place.
Yeah, and I love Jace. What y'all think about Jace? Now that we're on him,
he's Mexican daddy for sure.
Is he Mexican?
Whatever.
He looked black, dude.
He's brown daddy.
He looked black.
Nah, dude, he has straight hair.
He has straight hair, but his facial bone structure was black.
This is what happens every time. You know, there's a mixed person. The black people always say, "Hey, he's mostly this, so it's ours."
He's ours. He's ours.
Yeah.
Y'all got David. All right, y'all have David. Be happy.
He was one of the best characters.
Yeah,
ever.
Cyberpunk. Y'all have him.
What's this guy's last name?
Jace Talus.
That sounds Spanish to me.
Talus?
Either like a Persian, you know.
It's totally important to the story.
It is.
But no, so going on to Jace, guys. I love Jace. He's actually one of my 3 favorite characters. He's the 3rd favorite. Because not even early Jace, because early Jace is just like, you know, I'm going to do right, I'm going to do good, I'm going to build this up. Hex tech. Look,
Hex tech, yeah.
that's gay. I like Jace later when he's like grappling the decision to like use force.
Right.
And watching him kind of change mentally, like, yo, I'm not going to let them keep doing fucking shit up. So he goes down there, makes it up with his little hammer. I really like Jace's transformation growth.
It's a good growth, but then it always goes back to that same thing, a class warfare, you know, it's Piltover versus the Kingdom of Zon, you know, that's pretty much how it was at the beginning. You have Powder and Vi's parents die in the war, the first conflict, because same thing happened, they want to rise up, that's when, what's his name? Vander and,
other guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Other guy.
Echo's dad, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the guy with the eye.
Oh, Silco.
Silco, yeah. They were partners beforehand. They started the first war, and obviously they lost, which is why they're still in the slums with no sunlight and buying oxygen. And that's pretty much how it's.
But Vander tried to kill Silco, too. For some reason, that was never really actually discussed.
Well, because I think Silco goes too far.
Maybe, but they never mentioned why he tried to kill him, which I thought was a huge miss.
Well, I mean, then you can kind of just conclude that from, like, the way that their relationship ended and then how far Silco tried to go.
And Vander's trying to keep the peace.
Yes, exactly.
I just wish Vander held him up and said, like, stop trying to kill people or stop testing on people or something.
Well, he kind of did in the water.
He just killed, but we just saw murder happen.
He let him go.
Well, he stabbed him in the side.
Yeah, well, he still let him go. He didn't mean.
And how did Silco live that long in the water?
You told me Vander couldn't have just, you know, kind of repositioned him or took that knife away and then, you know.
Yeah, but they were brothers, though, you know.
But how did Silco survive so long in the water? That's my question. Because he's floating in that water, and that water's hella deep.
He's the main bad guy.
That water's hella deep, and they were just standing there a second ago. So, whatever.
I think that was his, like, mental thing.
How did he survive so long in the water?
Yeah.
They need him for the rest of the show.
Exactly.
Plot armor in effect. And I don't even think we really, like, kind of spoke on this, but this show is split kind of into 2 parts. There's 4 episodes, I guess 10 years prior to the ending.
Right.
And then 5 episodes after a 10-year time
skip. Gets hot and hopefully 18.
Yes. A big event happened where Vi and Jinx, our main characters, are like going to save Vander from Silco.
Hopefully Jinx is 8, by the way, because the time.
Yes, hopefully she's 8 years old, okay?
Because that would make sense, 10-year time.
That's why she's hot, yes. Yeah. And they go to save Vander, but they leave Powder behind.
Uh-huh. And
Powder, who is Jinx, comes to save them with her robots, but ends up making a huge explosion.
Because she uses the hex tech, the
crystals.
Yeah,
She uses some magic crystals, make a huge explosion that kills her 2 other buddies. It heavily injures Vi and makes Vander have to take shit.
They weren't just buddies. They were best friends.
They were like family.
It was
Yeah, it was like Vander's kids.
Yeah, pretty much he adopted them.
And Jinx killed them all.
Dude.
And so right after this happened, Vander's laying on the ground dying. Vi's there holding him, saying, "No, no."
He's dead.
And he dies, and Vi's sitting there blaming Jinx for all of this. She blamed him.
I wanted to save you, like, yeah.
And that broke Jinx's mind.
It kind of broke both of them. She punched the shit out of her.
It broke her whenever
she left her.
Vi like slapped her
and walked away.
And walked away.
You're a freaking
Jinx. She kept like hitting her head and stuff. And
yep. Oh yes.
Her mind break was so visible. I enjoyed it because it really showed you like, damn, this little girl is gonna turn out to be fucked up later.
Yeah.
And she did, and hot. So kind of they go hand in hand.
And Silco pops up to rescue her, basically right there.
She's like,
she's alone. Yeah, she did jump in his arms. And 10-year time skip happened, and everybody's grown up.
Got hot. Yeah.
Vi's been in jail, Lesing out, getting swole.
Why is she in jail?
Hey, that makes sense.
So. Vi, so right after that happened with Jinx, she realized like I'm gonna go back for Jinx. Like right after she left,
she sees Silco kind of embracing her. She's like, oh shit.
And so she runs back to Jinx, but then the cop, that's like the crooked
Asian
cop, the crooked Asian cop, he like drugs her, makes her pass out. And I guess he puts her in jail.
Well, because he needed a patsy.
What are the charges though?
Well, because he wanted to pin everything that happened on somebody. Remember the whole point of
no.
Okay, that's part of the charges. No, I get what Devin's saying. I get what Devin's saying.
So 10 years is worth.
He's the sheriff. He can do whatever he wants.
And technically, she got released by the what's her name that.
But he's asking, what makes you go to jail for 10 years?
What punishment fits that? That crime.
They had to have blamed her for blowing up the building. Right. That makes sense. I was gonna be funny with Devin, but that makes sense.
Well, not just the blowing up the building, but the whole the deaths of all those enforcers. The fact that
but those weren't her. That wasn't her fault. She didn't do all that.
This is high society. They have to blame. This is corrupt government. Come on, man.
They needed a figurehead to put in jail. They put Vi. She's grown up. She's been punching her wall for no reason. She got tattooed on her face. She's grown up.
Pack,
yeah. We see Jace older too. Doesn't look much different, but just swoller, I guess. Is he just like he's too swole, dog, to be a scientist, right?
No, I mean,
because when he was fixing his hammer, he was just swolled up. So he shouldn't be that swole. Who else we got? Also before the time skip, Jace made all the hex tech with Victor.
Right.
Victor, this hobbly...
He's the assistant of Professor Humberdinger.
Heimerdinger, yeah. This hobbly, crooked man, broken man who's just
huge aspirations.
Yeah, but he's
ulterior motives, though, because obviously he hates being a cripple. And he's also from the Undercity.
Right.
So he has a lot to prove.
But he's not going to be living too much longer. And so he wants to hurry up this hex... He wants to use all this magic for what it's worth to maybe fix his issue.
Right.
He never mentioned this, but we can tell by him hurrying. He's trying to heal himself.
They have a slight flashback later on about when he's younger.
Right.
But yeah.
He seemed like a good guy. He seemed like an okay guy, but just the magic corrupted him. And
power gets everybody's head, is what they're.
That's true.
What they're kind of trying to.
That is what that's a big theme they're putting for sure. Because Silco went,
Shimmer.
Yeah, he didn't go crazy with power, but he definitely. Well, maybe not.
I think he was already crazy.
Yeah, he was already pretty. Yeah, he was already pretty gone. Cool. Who was y'all's favorite character from this show?
I think we all had the same one, right?
On three. 1, 2, 3. Jinx.
Huh?
Sophie? Wrong anime?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Dude, to eternity, dude. I just fucking love it.
Oh, okay.
I love Jinx.
Close to Jinx.
Jinx. I don't know, dude. She's kind of just like...
Don't find reasons to not like her, bro. She was awesome.
She's kind of just like a bitch, though,
Yeah, that's...
A crazy one.
That's what made her...
Yeah, dude.
I loved her. They wrote her so well into every situation.
Right.
And, just her mind breaking.
I like the black dude.
Echo?
Echo.
Echo's pretty cool.
That fight on the bridge was fire. Y'all remember that little fight they did? Where, I guess he saw time happen and then reversed it? Or... Because they were fighting, and then he saw himself getting shot.
Well, he has a slight, kind of like a foretelling kind of thing. I think
that's his power. That's his power. Yeah.
Everybody has their own kind of powers. It's not really the power system.
Yeah.
But everybody has their own,
according to the game. Right.
And they introduce that slowly. They spoon feed you a little bit. Which is cool. I like that.
They try to make it more realistic instead of just like, you have a power. Here's your power.
Let's push a lane. I love that though, because they're not just fucking pushing lanes. There's a deep story here. There's fighting. You don't just
I would have appreciated one lane they had to get through.
Oh yeah, the tower pops out of nowhere and they have to
it, one thing you do with a tower. I don't know.
I'm glad they didn't.
Favorite character, Dev? You said Echo. Okay.
Yeah, Echo.
What'd you like about Echo?
Just that like he was the only like true black guy in the.
It's true.
In the
he
anime.
was. Other than the.
What do you mean the girls?
chick.
Oh yeah, except for but like nah, this one he didn't. They weren't true black people. It was like they came from power.
I hate you.
Oh yeah, and that Jace, what's her name? That was a hot little. Probably were. She was like sponsoring
Oh,
him.
Madara.
Yeah, Madara was
Councilwoman
sponsoring him
Madara,
with her
yes.
with her vagina.
Yeah. She was supporting him for sure.
Yeah.
No,
it was
but
hot.
he was just pretty cool with all like little tech that he built, and then he's like actually he's what you kind of wanted
Hoverboards.
Vander to kind of his fight to kind of change into, you know, so that to change with the times, you know.
Yeah, the Firelights and his little gang. He's trying to save the Undercity or whatever their
Freedom
plan
fighters.
is. Yeah,
Right.
they seem to just be revolutionaries. They just like because they were helping the top side whenever we got introduced to Jinx and them sneaking the stuff in.
Right.
They were trying to stop that from going to the city.
Well,
so they seem like good
it's like
guys.
Devin just said. That's what Vander was trying to like build as
Facts.
those freedom fighters, and unfortunately, Soko came
Facts.
up way too strong. So
Fair enough.
they,
Who was your favorite character?
Jinx. Oh, Jinx all the way.
Okay.
She was hot. She was a good fighter. She was a sharpshooter, which was badass with her twin guns
Mhm.
and a gadgeteer. All those like huge explosions, and she was like a good fighter too. She whooped so many people.
I'm right there with you, but
Yeah.
I loved her for how well she was written.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just really entertaining. Anytime she was on screen, I was really sucked in.
And her little like seeing the ghosts of all her friends and the spirits like talking shit to her in her head. She's like, I know that, you know.
And now she has shimmer in her body because she got brought back alive with it, so she can just move fast. I just love her whole character. Yeah. Cool. Do y'all have a favorite moment from the show?
Do y'all like how that Jinx kind of got to pick who she kind of wanted to be at the end? How they had a chair for what's her name?
Powder.
Powder, yeah, Powder.
Oh yeah.
And they had a chair for Jinx, and then she kind of ended up choosing her own destiny. I'd say that was probably my favorite part.
Okay.
She ended up killing her, you know,
Old self,
daddy
pretty much.
daddy
That was
number
cool.
2.
Yeah.
You know, because she was
Yeah.
crazy.
To say, but because he was gonna kill Vi. Soko.
Yeah.
And that's why she shot, but then she realized like no, after she did it, that she fucked up. So yeah, no, it's good part right there. Paul.
I mean, it has to be episode 3. Where like just everybody kind of becoming their own. Like it's kind of between the time skip and that at the end when she blew up everybody, her friends, Powder, and became Jinx. That was just a good episode. I mean, she became what she was, you know, kind of meant to be in a way. Because they all called her Jinx from the very beginning.
Right.
You always mess up everything. But she was still tinkering and making things better. And she became who she was. Man, Jinx, man. She became 10-year time skip.
Okay.
18.
I just to kind of jump on. I mean, I wouldn't say the same thing as Jinx. I just like Jinx's whole thing. I guess my favorite moment was the fight whenever Jace came in with Vi and they had the new Forge head.
They took out the little Shimmer warehouse.
Yes, and then he was shooting everybody. He was shooting all the people with his hammer gun, and then he shot that kid, the son of one of those top criminals, and he just died. And the episode ended. I was like, "Yo,
That's hit his morals, man. Hit his morals.
Well, yeah, I was like, "Yo, he was ready to kill anyone." I like that. I like that.
He didn't try it though.
I know he didn't.
He regretted
I know.
it though. Afterwards.
I know. I appreciated it.
I think that actually plays into the whole like faction war class system because he felt bad about that because he's like, oh shit. At the end of the day, they're people. They don't, they have to do this just to get up on their own, society things. Yeah.
Was there anything that y'all did not like about this show?
No lane pushing. Nah.
Was there something that just kind of threw you off about it that you just noticed?
That I just noticed, like just now?
Well, no, you just noticed it like, it's weird.
I mean, I really don't watch cartoons.
How dare you?
It is a cartoon. It is a cartoon.
Yeah, no, just the whole. So like they put Jinx in jail. No, Jinx. They put Vi in jail. And there was no justification over it. Over some spilt, not some spilt milk, but over some like couple stolen items.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know that they stole.
She was a patsy.
They didn't know what she stole. So it wasn't. I mean, I guess because an explosion happened. But she wasn't the only one responsible for that, and then plus they could have just said that they went down there and killed the person responsible for it. So she really didn't have to go into the jail and kind of miss that part of her life.
That's true, but people like to see someone hang.
Or like rot.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Vander's body was rotting on the ground.
Yeah, but I didn't take no pictures of it.
She's the last loose end.
So
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Do you have one?
If I had to choose something I didn't like about it, I mean,
The way,
the way
it
it
ended, right?
Huh?
The way it ended, right? You're like,
yeah, it's only
like,
season 1.
it's like, oh, everybody's got their own path to follow now. It's like, no, dude, I need to see more of it.
Well, no, it ended with that shot being shot at the council meeting place they were at, and then it just ended. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I thought you guys were overselling it was bad or something. I was like, that's kind of cool.
I never said it was bad.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I never said it was bad. I said it was a good show. It ended where it should have ended because it's not over yet. There's so much more lore, so many more characters to get to, which is my problem with it. They only introduced maybe
I got a problem
5 to 6 core characters of the game. And if you actually play the game, there's a whole roster of characters with their own backgrounds.
Yeah, so my thing is, though, is like, because this is a prequel to the game, it'll never have an ending, because the game is, keeps on going. So, like, knowing that it'll never end.
I don't think it's the prequel, guys. This is like its own world, kind of.
I think this is an introduction to some characters. And it's not even the only 2 factions. There's more.
Yeah, there's way more factions.
Dude, that's why I'm like, that's why I'm disappointed they didn't introduce maybe...
There's parallels.
Something,
I remember what mine was, too. Let me say before I forget. My issue was the consequence issue. So, there were a few consequences early on with Vander dying, and Clagor, there were. But there were a lot of times that I kept thinking, why did they not kill that person? Like when Savika fought Vi 3 different fucking times.
Right.
I'm like, what, just, like, kill her, or you kill Vi, or something, like, end this. And I just kept thinking, why do they keep leaving her alive? It just didn't make any sense to me.
And you're talking about that lady that's
survived. Yeah, the swole lady.
Because she owed so much to Vander. She respected him and also respected the fact that he saw something in Vi. Basically, Vi was Vander's protege. She was the next in line to protect the Undercity, and that's why she kind of turned at the end. You kind of saw Savika kind of like have a kind of a moral moment.
I saw her stick to her morals and stay beside Silco the whole time.
But she didn't like Jinx. Obviously, she thought she was too crazy. Even Silco, she kind of saw that he's going too far
a little bit.
And she had a moment where she decided not to kill Vi for a reason. I mean, that's what I saw. Okay. I watch these things closely. I don't.
All right. Well,
whatever.
This show came out.
If you're gonna be a sensei, you gotta.
Yeah, that's true. This show came out in 2020.
Yeah.
There's a next season announced for 2024.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. 4 long years. It's a long time to wait on something.
It can't be that good, right?
Right, exactly.
I don't know. We'll find out in our ratings.
What do we rate this thing, guys?
I'm gonna do a 9-episode anime.
40 minutes each.
Right.
That was a game. That has a game.
Very popular game.
Very popular game.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So this story was written so well. Like it was just everything just was.
It's like you're so gay.
I was just really, really sucked in. Pause.
Yeah.
And like this story, I could probably go for a few more rounds of it. Pause. And I just want more of it in and around my butt. Pause.
Animation was good too.
Yeah. It was
kind of weird animation.
It was weird. I got over it though, because it did.
You do come around like everything everything causing like smoke, like smokiness.
It's colorful.
It was like it was weird. It was weird. I didn't know if it was like CG or what the hell this was, like an art painting I'm watching. Like,
what do you rate it though?
I'm gonna give it a 9. Really enjoyed it. Very, very much enjoyed it. I will recommend it.
I feel like I will go last then.
Okay.
Very, very much
enjoyed it. Good soundtrack too, by the way. Like there were so many songs in there.
I hate it. I hate that song, by the way.
The beginning one?
Yes. I hated that song before the show. Before this show, I hated that song. Yeah. It works so good in this show, dude. It works so freaking good in this show.
Yeah, but I just don't like it. I know.
I didn't like it before because they played it all the time. But now with this show, I can't think of it any other way than with this show.
Yeah. And then the disc.
They had the band too in the show. You seen it? Yeah, they walked by. Yeah, they walked by the band when Vi got right out of jail.
Deep cut. Cool.
Yeah, and they're just like looking at her like, oh, should we sing now?
I like the fact how they introduced every beginning with like a record to like from a jukebox. I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, there's like a different chapter.
Yeah,
different track in the album.
So what do you rate it? Something like that. What do you rate it?
I'm gonna give it. This is only the first season, and I did I had problems with how much they didn't introduce some of the characters in the beginning, but all in all, I'm gonna give it a solid 8. It's watchable. I recommend it obviously because I chose it. I like the game. 8.
Okay.
Evan, give it the lowest score.
I actually am not going to give it the lowest score because we're going to tie. I'm going to give it an 8 also.
Oh, cool.
It was a really good, had a really good story to it. The characters were really nice.
What stops it from being a 10 from you guys?
Probably just overall.
I didn't get to see Jinx naked.
Are you comparing it to something?
No, I mean just a 9. I mean just a 9 episode,
Right.
anime.
Pluto was 8. Gave it a 10.
An 8 with an hour long apiece.
But those are 40 minutes apiece.
I know.
It's like this is almost the same. It's like
20 minutes.
22.
Usually
That,
anime's
dude,
like 20
the,
minutes.
the intro song is like 3 minutes.
True.
All right, and I'm pretty sure it stopped at like 3 minutes left also
Miami.
too.
Yeah, the credits.
So you had credits every single time.
Okay.
So they were true like 30-minute episodes.
Oh, and not 5-minute openings. Oh, come on. Maybe it was.
Yeah, I mean just with the
that
intro
song
song
is
and
like-
everything.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
that's
I mean the song was a banger. They got to get it in every single time. You know.
But
Yeah.
So.
Bastard, take notes.
No, dude, but it was a well written anime. I would want more from it. Hopefully more episodes, more. I guess more different characters that are involved
Right.
in this whole thing. I guess that's where the factions would come in.
Mm-hmm.
It had a good story, good setup to it.
Fighting was good.
Yeah, the fighting was good, but it just
Fair
didn't. 10 would have to be like the best animes I've ever seen. You know,
Right.
it's just not up there with.
This isn't even an anime, guys. Once again, I want to reiterate
So
that.
it's a point right there.
It's debatable.
Yeah. I want to reiterate that it's
I
not
mean,
an anime.
If I see that many Japanese names at the end credits, then I gotta think that. And also, this is a Japanese game. Like League of Legends was made in. Like let's just like stop calling carrots, a vegetable. That's what they are. It is what it is.
Yeah, do we all rate it? We all rated it
Yes,
8,
we did.
9, 9. Okay, guys,
8,
8, 9. We are sensing the people, guys. Hopefully, we can do more of these live shows. Paul will be moving in here, and guys, you'll see more of us. We out.
This is an anime.